Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is October 18th, 2019. My name is Lynn Marquidant, and I'm your host. Thank you for joining me. Grab your project and let's see what we can accomplish together in the next 60 minutes. Today is an exciting time. We're going to go over clue 3 of our fall mystery. You'll see it up behind. If you haven't been following along, make sure to go to simplycolorful.com and look for the free pattern. We're on week 3. It's just a 4-part mystery this October 2019. We're going to do some free motion quilting. I'm going to start here with the stitch regulator, and I'm going to show you how I load that and use that. We're also going to talk about the CAFE day or evening that we had last Sunday night down in Connecticut. What a great time. Thank you to Chris for making that happen, and Jean and Sue for coming along, and also to Becky and Susan. It was great to see you there too, along with 400 other people. It was a great turnout. Then I'm going to show you a few quilts that I've made in the last few days, and then that'll probably take the hour. So, and as always, send your pictures and what you're working on to lynn@simplycolorful.com, or hi, Carol. Hi, or I think that's Carol. Yeah. Or post things on the Simply Colorful Facebook page. Hey, thumbs up. And make sure to say hi to each other. This is all about our community. So with that, let's go to first. Let's talk about clue number 3 of the Simply Colorful mystery. The first step is to cut 4 pieces of cotton batting that each measure 20 by 17. Well, I did that, but I first had to piece some of my scrapped batting using a zigzag. That's how I do it. It works great. And I have 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one I've already used. Actually, maybe we should start with this. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to take each of our flowers that we embellished last week, and we're going to put batting on the back and then do some free motion quilting. And if you can, try and do the free motion quilting. You can see here on the back, although it is cream on white, I realize it might be hard to see. I tried not to do free motion quilting on the flower itself. Instead, I did free motion quilting all in the background. And I did it in a neutral color because I wanted that to recede. By the way, when I do this again, and I am going to do this in Christmas colors, make Christmas sort of like a modern Christmas poinsettia is what I'm thinking. I am going to pay attention to values, because when you look at these from far away, see how the green value is much lighter than some of the dark? I was able to use my trims to create a bit more contrast. And these are too light. They don't give enough heft, I don't think, for the flowers themselves, or the flowers look too heavy to me. Maybe next time I could make lighter value flowers. So anyway, I'm just playing. Overall, though, I do like them, and I hope you like yours. I love to see the pictures of them. It's great fun. Hi, Maggie. Hi in New Hampshire. Welcome home from all your travels with your grandchildren. And so what we're going to do, so that was my comment on value, and but I still do like it. And I think if we repeated this a lot, we could do some interesting things with the stems. You know, they could become a whole separate pattern, which would be kind of neat. Anyway, what we're doing today is we are, again, putting batting on the back of all 4 of these. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to take one other one of these. Let's get everything out of the way. And I have to pin baste. You see this? So which one should we do? Let's do the pink one. That'll be pretty. Hopefully it fits. Ha! If not, you can always put a little piece in the corner, but that fits. Good enough. Well enough. Okay. So then what I do is I pull out my safety pins. Hi, Karen Marinelli. Happy Friday. So I pull out my safety pins and keeping it as flat as can be. You could use spray adhesive. Pam and Becky have turned me on to spray adhesive. And be careful though, the trick with spray adhesive is, if you haven't already discovered, I discovered that the glue does go everywhere. So if you can, do it outside. But it does work great. But, you know, Freon in the environment or whatever. Yeah, it's Freon that makes it spray. I don't know. This works just fine for this particular application. So I pin it all around like that. And then I'm going to leave in my darker thread. I was using darker thread on something else before we started, which I'm going to show you. I have a quilt. I have 3 quilts I'm going to show you tonight. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting a pretty wide stitch. Whoops, like 3.5, 3.3. And then I'm literally basting this 1/8 of an inch in. And it's okay, by the way, this pattern cuts off the tip of the tulip, and I'm okay with that. It may drive others of you crazy, and if so, I'm sorry. Maybe next time make this smaller or make your background bigger. And some of you may have already adjusted. Sorry again. I should have made the background a little bit bigger. So I thought what's nice about this little mystery is it gives us a chance to play with our machine quilting. I have never perfected rulers either place, here on my big machine or this little one. I still need to try it and practice. I think my sister's done it. So you'll notice that when we go do this, I do it just free motion. I lower the feed dogs and I follow some of the patterns of the fabric. So, and this, believe me, when you look up close, it does not look precise at all. And that's kind of what the look I was going for. Here on this particular fabric that has a lot of squiggles, I did stipple. I did stipple down here. On this striped fabric, I actually was able to change my machine to a zigzag, and then I did zigzag stripes up and down. And it gives it a nice 3-dimensional stripiness. And then over here, which has, I don't know if you can see that, but it has leaves. I actually went up and down and I put leaves to mimic the leaf design. They're much bigger than what's on the fabric, but at least it mimics the design. So that's what I'm going to do again here. And of course, you know this, but we have to be careful not to hit the pins. Okay, so I need to change the color of my thread. First things first. So we're going to free motion quilt that. Or maybe, well, now I already pulled the thread out. No. Yeah, duh. Then I don't have to change my feet back and forth. Okay, so that's number one. That's ready to go. This one's done. Let's put this one up here. We should be able to get this done in 60 minutes. That's the goal. So again, bring your batting. The batting should be bigger than your piece. Great way to use up scraps. And there we go. Hi, Stephanie. Reorganizing your sewing room. Wonderful. Enjoy it. Thanks for being here. Send us pictures of how you do it. I was noticing my sewing room needs a major delinting. It needs a good vacuum. I use my Swiffer every day, multiple times a day. But, you know, since I've got this little part-time job, I have not been keeping up with the vacuuming as much as I thought I would. So I have to do that. Tomorrow I'm doing the Comfort Quilt Workshop with our Marathon Quilters Guild. But then I'll be done with that work for a while. So I should be able to clean the sewing room. And I love to reorganize it. So have fun, Stephanie. Okay. So there's that one. Let's do this one. I forgot to rethread it. I do my two-handed thread always now, meaning I keep it taut at the top when I pull my thread all the way through, and it works like a charm. I love this Bernina. Okay, now we can do it. Well, that works better. Little thread. Oh, so now I'm going to talk about something other than the mystery. The storms that came up, we're in here in New England, but there were some gale force winds was what I heard my mother say, down where Mom lives, and they were without electricity for almost a day. She was. We have other family down there. Last I knew, when I talked to her around noon today, they were still without electricity, and they had trees down. So you may recall, this summer there was a big storm. There were tornadoes on the Cape, and there was a lot of storm damage. And it's almost like we got tired of hearing storm damage. We didn't hear much about this one. And I called my mother, and I couldn't believe that she had been without power for many hours. Mom, if you're out there, next time call me so I can worry about you. So we just keep it as flat as we can. Oh, I got a little pucker there right at the end. Nothing that a little stipple won't get rid of. I don't think you can see it. There's a little pucker. Okay, there's two. Oh, so glad we're doing all three. Because then I only have to change to my stitch regulator foot once and change my thread, which I'm low on. Check this out. I have very little of this tan color, so I'm hoping it's more than it looks like. I need to order some Aurifil thread. It's one of those things, though, I need to save up. It's so expensive. Oh, speaking of saving up. So today, after 3 weeks of my new job, I work Monday through Friday. So Friday is exciting. Hi, Julie. Hi, quilting girl. Thanks. You like my flowers? Thank you. Oh, good. And Julie has extra shelves. So reorganization is in my weekend. That's great. Feels so good to organize. So after I got out of work today, I went to Joann Fabrics. I did need something. They don't sell Aurifil thread. And I needed some fabric, which I got. But for the first time in quite a long time, I splurged on a couple of things. And I wanted to show you. But I couldn't pass it up. The price was just too good. So check this out. I got 2 pair of Fiskars for $12.99 or something like that. That was 50% off. I'm so excited because I'm down to just 1 pair of scissors. I don't know how I did it. I'm sure they're under piles here, but I'm thrilled to have these nice fresh ones for when we need them. And if I don't need them, I thought it would be a great stocking stuffer. Joann's is having a great sale. I don't know if it ends today, but if you're anywhere near Joann's, today they have good coupons and good sales. The other thing I got, now I have 3 of these Olfa cutter. I think this is Olfa rotary cutter. I'm sure I have my first one, and it's been great, and it still is great, except that when you open it, the blade is exposed. And I still know, no matter how long I've been doing this, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. So when I was at Becky's at Open Sew on Tuesday, which I love, by the way, anyone who is around Holliston on Tuesday, if you have the afternoon and you want to come sew, it is wonderfully fun. For $10, we can sew in her beautiful studio, all lit up. She has machines there if you don't want to bring your machine. It's like a quilting gym. You don't have to commit to every week. There are cards there that she'll stamp or will punch when you attend. But when you don't attend, you don't pay, right? And the lighting is amazing. And she had one of these rotary cutters that retracts immediately. So the blade is never free. This I got for 60% off, also ended up being $11 or $12. So I'm thrilled with this. And if it goes as well as I expect, I may have extras of these that I will be, of course, I'll take the blade out, but I will be giving away. We'll see. We do need our cutters, as we know. Anyway, so I splurged at Joann's. Enough about my shopping trip. And they have good coupons today. Let's do this one final baste. I called my mother, and she did laugh about the fact that I went to Joann's. Because, that's her big concern, or I think that's one of her concerns, is that I'll spend all my money at Joann's. Went a little bit off the reservation there. I've been talking to Holly too. This is kind of a random thought that I wanted to share with everyone. Remember Holly came and worked on the Black Dog t-shirt quilt. Well, we've been conversing about when she's coming back. She'll come back in November, probably mid to late November, because of both of our schedules. She's a busy teacher, and we're picking out fabric to go in between her t-shirt quilts, t-shirt blocks. And we have the bright red minky for the backing, so I think it'll be fun. Okay, so that's good. We have basted them all. 1, 2, 3. Now they're ready for free motion quilting. So first things first, I'm going to change my thread. I had some good brown Aurifil that I'm trying to use up. These are the only colors I have of Aurifil. Let me show you this. Definitely have to do, what did I do? Oh. I'm going to have to buy some Aurifil. See how I've got brown, brown, brown. I've got this light brown. I have red, which I love. This is how much gray I have left. I don't have any white, no black. So it's almost a crisis situation. I hope you're laughing at that. But really, next to electricity, one needs their thread. It is true, we do need electricity for an awful lot of our things these days. Okay, so again, a two-handed threading of the machine to make sure that the thread path is well engaged. And I thought about having this all done before we came on to FiberCast, but I thought this, this is part of sewing, is all of the maintenance and all of the thread preparation. So what the heck? And I did have to learn how to use my stitch regulator on this machine. So I thought I would share what I learned. That way, if and when you get a machine, it might help a little bit, having seen it. So I always clean things off. I have my single point throat, single stitch plate throat, rather than this one has a wide opening for 9mm plate for big stitches, big zigzags. This one just has a single hole for very minute changes or single straight stitching. This gives you more control, which I'm going to do, because our stitch regulator, I'll be moving the fabric, but we want the needle to just go up and down, straight up and down. So that's all cleaned out. Let's get our bobbin thread. Okay, so there's our brown bobbin thread. And then here's our cream bobbin thread. These big Bernina bobbins, I don't know if you can see that, they have metal on one side. That side. That has to go into the bobbin to communicate with the metal in the bobbin. Okay. Okay, and that's good and taut. Now, let's take off my 1D, clean off the lint. I'll put this back on. My needle's fairly new, so I'm good with that. And it's a sharp one. Now I'm going to pull out my stitch regulator. And I'm going to read you what the stitch regulator says. It's better than I could say it. Regulated stitch length with lowered feed dog. So I'm going to lower my feed dog. There we go. The Bernina stitch regulator, or BSR, generates a proper and even stitch formation with stitches of exactly equal length. It reacts on the movement of the fabric, and as a result of this, it adapts accurately to the respective speed. The selected stitch length is retained independently of the movement of the fabric within the allowed speed. I noticed if I go too fast, I get a little red light. So that's what they mean by the within the allowed speed. The Bernina stitch regulator can produce straight stitches as well as zigzag stitches. So remember what I just said about my single plate? I want to take that off and put in my big plate because I do want to do zigzag. So the control is still fine. And if it isn't, I'll switch back and I'll go back to the other one. Okay. What other things? Okay, so here is the BSR, the Bernina stitch regulator. It's a foot, and it has some detachable things on their feet. This is a little round metal one. On the shank, you can put these. I like to do this broader plastic one because I can see underneath it. And it holds the fabric down. There's more to it. So just like my other feet, I put it up on the cone and adjust it. But I also have electricity that plugs in to the back of the machine. And then the computer automatically sees, oh, you have the BSR. Do you want one or two? And I can pick one or two. You can deactivate the BSR function and do standard free motion quilting too. I want to know the difference between BSR 1 and 2. That must be in the other book. This is good pod, isn't it? All right. Well, I go back and forth. There's a slight difference between 1 and 2, but I don't remember what it is, and it doesn't matter. Let's get to quilting. This is so small, I don't even use rubberized gloves, but those are very helpful if you want to put gloves on that have rubber. I didn't seem to need them for this. I think first I'm going to do the pink, and I'm going to do just stipple in here, and I'm going to make sure to take out the pins. This could get noisy, so we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping it's not too noisy. And I'm going to put this down. Okay, I brought the thread up. Now, why did that stop? Make sure it's looking okay. I have it set at 2.0 for a stitch length. Go to 2. And you can do this tightly or not as tightly, whatever you feel like you want to do. Oh. This definitely takes practice. And one of the keys is not to tense up your shoulders. Okay, now I'm going over here to where the leaves are. Oh, and I know you can't see this, so I may not do all 4 of these. But now I'm going to go over to the leaves. I'm going to go straight, and then I'm going to draw a leaf. And then I'm going to go straight and draw another leaf. Down and draw another leaf that way. It's very forgiving because it's neutral red. Go over here. I see a pin. There, it just stays there. Okay. And I will check my email and your comments in a minute. Oh, and I have some quilts to show you from Jean. Okay, now I'm going to move into more stippling. Yeah, I'll only do one of these because this can't be very fun to watch. And I want to see what you're doing and read what you're saying. I'm going along the edge and going over to the other area. Again, remember to take out the pins. And there are all sorts of books on free motion quilting. In fact, I should probably go get one that's over there. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. It keeps stopping. Let's see how fast this goes. get too fast and then it says, no, you don't. Slow right down. Okay, so I've done that and that and that. Now I'm here where the stitches need to be zigzag. So I switch it to zigzag. And as simply as that, I'm almost done. Dripping, I know. I hope you're multitasking. I hope everyone's pulled out their project. Because remember, what do we say? It's amazing what we can accomplish in 60 minutes. All right, we go back to single stitch. Get here. Okay. Oh, I just went outside the line. So just get into a rhythm. Repetition is very pleasing to the eye. Almost done. Okay, and then we have this one more. Stippling. I hope you had fun with the decorative stitches. The decorative stitching was fun for me. It took me longer than I expected. I never knew that. And my machine kept saying, make sure to oil. Which I've been doing. There we go. Okay. So that is one done. See how it keeps it all together. So we have our stippling up here and here. We have our stitches, our straight lines there. We have over here are the leaves on their side. And then more stippling here. Okay, let's see who's out there. Am I? Hey! Oh, Dawn, I'm so excited. You cut out your comfort quilt pieces for sewing tomorrow. That's wonderful. That's great. What are we going to do for lunch? Should we do Bertucci's pizza again for lunch? I love that stuff. And then they serve you with a salad and then the rolls. So you eat the salad and you think you're having vegetables. Who else is out there? Oh, I can't get anything accomplished lately. Oh, some days are just like that, aren't they? Is that Lacey? Does your quilting, okay, let me see. Does your quilting pucker when you sew around the outside first? No, it seems okay. I think, to answer your question, I think because it's such a small piece, I was able to put it down. It didn't pucker. I know what you mean. On bigger quilts, I always start in the middle. On the long arm, of course, it's wound and it's taut. But no, I lucked out. No puckering. Good question. Oh. I can't see a thing. I know this is not good pod. Anyway. Nope, I'm here though. Oh, good. I'm glad you're there. Oh, it's Cherish. I'm sorry. All these pen names. Hi, Cherish. Oh, you guys. Okay, so what I wanted to do was show you some pictures. So that's what Clue 3 is all about. And I will do the other two if we have time later tonight. Actually, I can put this one up because this is done now. Oh, I like it. Pretty, pretty. Okay. Let me show you a picture. Jean sent me pictures of what she's working on. Does anyone play Wordscapes? It's a silly game, and I have become too stuck on it. Okay. Jean. Whoa, that's a beautiful quilt. I'm sorry. Can you see that? Jean had to fix that for a client. And then, remember her buoy quilt that she made last weekend? She's putting binding on that. Those are great quilts. Check out, I love your fabrics with your buoys. Those are great. And Chris Myers, are you out there? Or are you driving? Just curious. Carol, if you're out there, hello. Okay, now let's go see if anyone has sent messages to lynn@simplycolorful.com. And then I want to show you some pictures from Kaif's new book. My sister was playing a joke on me. She said, you know, he loves it when you call him Cafe. That was very funny. Pat. Hi, Pat. She says, in Lower Alabama, no less, Pat says she's hand quilting for the first time in months. Good for you. Have to create new calluses. Making 2 quilts using my uncle's neckties. We'll send pictures another time. Oh, thank you for sending that, Pat. I love that. Aw. Such variety, I bet. Carol titles this one, Carol from over across the pond. She says, she titles this Wrestling Tonight. She says, hi, Lynn and Fibercasters. Hope you have all had a good week. She says, I've had quite a productive week. I finished the quilt I was working on last week, and during the week I've quilted and bound a small quilt. Time to contact the lady from Project Linus. Oh, good for you. Tonight I've started quilting a full-size denim quilt. And boy, is it a real wrestling match to get it done on my little machine. As you can see from the picture, second picture is from when I layered it. Whoa, this is impressive. Whoa, look at this. Carol, I love your work. When did you have time to do that? Those are all jeans. And then this is what she means by wrestling it under her sewing machine. That must be a lot of layers to have your sewing machine go through. Wow. But it looks like it's going. Well, thank you for sharing that. Slow and steady. I love how you put the dark and the light jeans there. Very creative. And the pockets, of course. That's awesome. Okay. Holly is, again, she will be here in November. And hi, Jennifer Jordan, if you're out there, your quilts will be done by tomorrow. I think I had 4 people drop off quilts this week, which was great. So thank you. Keep them coming. The earlier we get them done, the easier our holidays will be, right? Okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you is we went to see Kay Facet, and Brandon Mabley is his business partner, was there. And they're both from the Cave Collective. And I hope they're okay with me showing this. Everyone got this book, Quilts of the Cotswolds. And KB, I'll bring it to you next time I see you. They designed these quilts with some of their newest fabric. And then they take pictures of them in the Cotswolds in England. And actually, it was at a specific place. Let me read this to you. In this, the 21st edition of Kay Facet's ever-popular series of patchwork and quilting books, Case has chosen to show off his latest range of fabrics by revisiting many of his favorite medallion quilt blocks. So a lot of these have medallions. I don't know if you can see that. Let me find a better one. A medallion meeting in the middle, like this is the glamping print that Brandon Mabley has designed, is in the center of that one. Here's one. It has a picture in the middle. So these are they're modern, they're full of color. Kaif told us, and here's a picture of Kaif. Kaif told us about his history. He grew up, or he was born in San Francisco, so he's not from England. He lives there now, and he started designing when he was very young. And you may know him from his knitting and his needlepoint. Here's a cool one. Lots of oranges. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, very interesting to hear him. Let me tell you where these were taken, and then okay. So this is Hidecote, Hidcote. Carol, I bet you know it, or Anne. I picked Hidecote for the location for the photography because it was the first British garden to open my eyes to the English genius for creating great theatrical gardens. It is full of surprises and rooms of different moods and colorings, and its great dramatic spaces framed by stunning yew hedges. To have the insight to create something so deliciously structured, coupled with the amazing patience to sit by year after year until it matures into being, is phenomenal, particularly to a crazed result seeker like me. Ha! Isn't that the truth? A crazed result seeker. That sounds like a quilter, any one of us who does this thing over and over and over again, all with the sense of wanting that finish, that accomplishment. I love that. He gets us. He is us. He says Hidecoat was started in the early 1900s near Stratford upon Avon by Major Lawrence Johnston, an American by birth, who became a naturalized British subject in 1900, and who became a plant hunter of repute. As an American myself, who has made England my home, I can well imagine Johnston's love of English gardens as he grew his amazing vision. How wonderful that Hidecoat, tucked away in the rural Cotswolds of England, continues to be lovingly groomed by the National Trust for all of us in need of a spiritual lift to visit and receive benediction. I hope in this humble book you get enough of an impression of my favorite English garden to pay it a visit and see, using all your senses, how totally enchanting the whole effect is. So, pretty inspirational stuff. And I want to go to Hidecoat. Let me show you. These books, what I like about his books is they show the diagram and they show you the exact Cafe fabrics and what you need. And each Cafe fabric, who knew? Those of you who are Cafe aficionados do know this, I know. But they have names, whether it's guinea flower, enchanted, lotus leaf, paperweight, succulent, red. All of these different fabrics have specific names, and they come in different color palettes. So very interesting, very, very inspirational. And I think he is in his late 70s, early 80s. So pretty remarkable, accomplished gentleman. Did I see something over here? Okay. Cherish, you can't get anything accomplished, I bet, because you have a grandbaby. Uh-oh. Message retracted? Carol, did I lose something? Well, let me go here and see if you've sent me an email. Send me an email. I guess I can see that better. This getting old thing is ridiculous. Of course, I'm too vain to wear glasses. I think I may have to stop that. I did try one thing earlier this week. I tried putting in a contact in one eye and leaving the other one without the contact for distance. And that seemed to work. So I could both read up close and I could see far away. So I might try that. Oh, he lives in Maryland. Aw. Well, I bet you see pictures. My cousin Heidi, ever since her grandchild arrived, she's very happy. And that makes us happy. Well, what else do I want to show you? Oh, the quilts, the comfort quilts. So Dawn, if you're still out there, this is what I did at Open Sew on Tuesday out of some, talk about simple. This is just squares. So that's one that I'm going to stitch in the ditch probably tomorrow. Here's another one that a bunch of us have worked on. I don't know who actually started it. I know Becky worked on it, then Pam worked on it. This is the cute dancing squares pattern. And it's nice and warm. It's all flannels. Nice flannel backing. And then the last one, also flannel. This is not flannel. The backing. Nope, even the backing is not flannel. That's okay. It'll wash up beautifully and be nice and soft. And this one, Susan started this, and I am finishing it for her. And it's one of those that doesn't, see the ending, doesn't have an edge, and it's a piece back. So that one I am all set to do the hand sewing on. I sewed the binding on this afternoon. So that'll be all ready. So those are those 3 quilts. I think that is about it. We talked about CAFE. We talked about the clue number 3. Does anyone know what we're making in this clue? Is it pretty for sure what these are going to turn out to be? Oh, I just gave you a clue too. I said these. If you are making this, please post it on the Simply Colorful Facebook page. I'd love to see it. And everyone would love to see it. I think that's about it. Again, Joann's is having a great sale, so you might still have time. 50% off. They have a coupon for 60% off. You know, we need our cutting implements. And these are just the ones that are within my hand reach. I hope you're laughing. And I'm so glad you joined me tonight. It's another Friday night. We are so fortunate to be able to do something that we love. We're so fortunate to have a hobby that we can do. And hopefully you're looking at a weekend of doing more of what you love to do. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I'll see you next Friday night right here on FiberCast. And we'll do clue number 4. We're going to finish up our mystery. Thanks for joining me. Bye.